Yo, what's up, my gamers in Christ? How are we doing today? Today is the date of Sunday, December 28th of 2025. Hopefully we're doing well. It's a cold, wet day where I'm at, unfortunately, but we're not gonna let that bring us down, ladies and gentlemen. No sir, no sir, no sirree. Anyways, hopefully you guys are doing well. It's a fun little Sunday. Apparently, Trump's meeting with Zelensky today, so that'll be interesting to parse through tomorrow. Other than that, there's not too much news. We're still going through the Epstein files, you know, just collectively as a news story. So there's still, you know, we found a lot of interesting revelations. I'll be getting into them tomorrow. Will it be tomorrow? Yeah, I think it's tomorrow. Either tomorrow or the day after. I'll be getting into the Epstein files. Alright, but let me share my link real quick. I'm working on something behind the scenes, ladies and gentlemen. I think you'll be actually very excited to see what I got cooking under the hood. I think you'll be pretty excited. Everyone, we are live. Can you believe it? We are live, but I hope you guys are doing well. We gotta make something better. We gotta make it something a little more spicy today. Yeah, we are live. There we go. Yes, send it out. Send that into the Etherverse. We'll drop a link in Dylan's. And Dylan Burns. Oh, I see Ponscum was advertising. You know, I had a conversation with who's that dude? I think his name is it's some sort of bug or something. And he just seemed like an absolute mouth breather, I won't lie. Just wasn't serious about his positions at all. Was just, you know, did it for the politics memes, which is like, oh great, one of these people. You know what I mean? Like I take my politics pretty seriously. Not that you can't have fun, but you know, what do I mean by that? Well, I'm not constantly switching my position. I'm not constantly joking and trying to make a big what's the word I'm looking for? Like meme of it. I don't know, not my dude, but you enjoy him? That is totally a great thing to hear. Alright, do we like the TPUSA decimating grinder servers, or should we go with something a little more rage baity? Just you know, it's up to you guys at the end of the day. Ooh, I see Ice Beans was live, by the way. So I'll probably be raiding into her after this. Ice Beans, amazing community member. And just a great person in general. Just a great person that is always able to help, which is great. I think that might be the end of where we can advertise. Again, and if you guys want to get updates to know when I'm live, what I'm doing, why I won't be live on a certain day, make sure to jump in the Discord. Let me send it out to you guys, but make sure to jump in that Discord because that is gonna basically allow access to a lot of new features. Like, for example, if you ever wanted to call in, maybe you disagree or maybe you ultra agree with me, you'll have the ability to do that. Alright, let me send this through. Send it down the pipes. It's a series of tubes, the internet is. It's a complete series of tubes. I think we're gonna update the rage bait though. I think we're gonna do something a little more spicy with the rage bait today. I don't know though. The TPUSA decimating grinder servers is kind of crazy. If you guys didn't catch that, I made a short about it, but but in Phoenix, Arizona, where the TPUSA event was happening, grinder servers crashed. They crashed the Phoenix, Arizona grinder servers. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, let us... We're gonna chill for a little bit longer. Actually, I do think I could self-promo. I guess I could go to Not So Erudite. Shout out to Not So Erudite. Not... Oh my god, I finally... Oh no. Wait, what? Okay, I thought I got access to Hutch's self-promo, but it just goes up to my previous one, so I don't know, dude. Anyways, IRI, Hutch. Yeah, I'd say that's good. I'd say that's good. Alright, I'm gonna start my game up and then we'll get started, ladies and gentlemen. Then we'll get started. Do a fresh boot here. It's Sunday though. Sunday is usually an interesting day for views. You know, I'm not expecting to get a whole bunch of people today just because you know, people are traveling home and there is a lot of just things you got to do around this time of the holiday. Or this wrap up of the holiday. Boot up that front mission for today. You know what? We'll just do the classic Republicans are failing America. Are failing America. There we go. It's a classic, but it never ceases to fail. It's a classic, but it never ceases to fail, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. That being said, we could probably start PBS NewsHour. Wait a little bit longer. We'll wait until we've been streaming for about 15. A little 15, that's the beginning. You guys have a good Christmas, though? Get a lot of Christmas presents? I don't think we really talked too much about Christmas on the last stream. I don't know, I'm not a Christmas. Not a Christmas enthusiast, personally. More of a Grinch, you know what I mean? I won't lie. I'm a bit of a Grinch. Bah humbug, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how, like, this level is kicking my ass, dude. Maybe I make them come, no, that's not it. Yeah, I don't know. But, it is definitely not being kind to me, which I don't appreciate. I think splitting them up is the best idea, you know what I mean? I think that's the best way to do it, but if I split them up, then, we're gonna have some issues there. I can't focus my firepower. Ba-no-no. Bam-bam, ba-no-no, down. I mean, this music is killer. We all have to agree with that. Alright, if I lose this time, maybe I replace all my melee dudes with a bunch of fucking grenade people and just let them... No, that's probably not a good idea. Alright. We'll place that bad girl right there. Let's get an amen in chat. And Jesus said, amen. This is gonna miss. Oh. It didn't miss, unfortunately, guys. Now this little bastard right here, that dude with the Wangama thing on his back, total pain in the ass. Total pain in the ass, folks. Alright, but this is okay. Okay, this is not nearly as disastrous as it could be. I just hate that that little crate is right there. That's really messing things up, you know what I mean? Maybe you don't because you haven't played this game, but it's messing things up. That's all you need to know. Oh, look at that. Teamwork makes the dream work, folks. Let's light them up, folks. Da-na-na-na-na. I like that little da-na-na-na-na. That shit's cool. I wonder if I go here, can I shoot between that? No, there's no way. There's no heckin' way. Dino Crisis? Is there a Dino Crisis happening? That would not be good. What's up, Toby? Good to see you. We're just waiting until the 15-minute mark, and then we'll get into our everybody's favorite PBS NewsHour. Oh, sounded like it was from that game. Oh, okay. No, this music is actually from the game I'm playing right now, Front Mission 4. It's pretty dope, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big fan. But, Not much is happening in the news today. We're still parsing through the Epstein files, so on that front, we'll be having that episode tomorrow, hopefully. I think I'm off. All right. I think it's about time we turn the music off and we listen. We sit down and listen to PBS NewsHour. Anyways, by the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, please remember to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel, gets the views boosted, as the kids say. I just dropped my vape.
Tonight on PBS.
Yes, let's go! Let's fucking go, dude.
Tonight on PBS News Weekend, a deadly wave of Russian strikes on Ukraine's capital city, Kyiv, as Volodymyr Zelensky heads to Florida for talks with President Trump. Then, connection between a company.
That's happening today. That's gonna be exciting. I'm waiting with bated breath, as the kids say.
In landlocked Nebraska and efforts to combat plastic pollution in oceans. And how scientists in Yellowstone.
What's up, Bill? Good to see you.
National Park are using AI to try to decode the language of wolves.
Not only can we hear them, we record their howling.
Bro, what? That might be interesting.
24/7, 365 days a year, but we often can link behaviors of wolves by observing them when they are vocalizing. What is the cause and effect of howling?
Your dream? You wanna be able to talk to wolves? That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool to be able to talk to wolves. We might, you know what?
Major funding for PBS News Weekend has been provided by.
In 1995, two friends set out to make wireless coverage accessible to all.
These people are funding PBS, so we'll give them a little bit of airtime.
With no long-term contracts, nationwide coverage, and 100% US-based customer support. Consumer Cellular.
Consumer Cellular, folks, couldn't talk enough about it. And BNSF Railways. Shout out. Shout out.
The ongoing support of these individuals and institutions. And friends of the news.
When people used to ask my dream superpowers and others would pick useful things, I'd pick the talking to animals. Hey, I think talking to animals could be pretty useful. My bad. I think it could be pretty useful. Like, you could befriend a couple rats and they could go and steal things for you. Befriend a couple rats. Or befriend a falcon. Now you've got scouting abilities. Ethical slavery.
Hour.
Well, you have to become friends with the animal or else they're going to be like, well, no, fuck you, you know? Like, what if the animal, you know, the power doesn't say you get to command the animals. It just means you get to talk to them.
This program was made possible by the contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime, man. Anytime.
Good evening. I'm John Yang. Russia attacked Ukraine's capital city, Kyiv, overnight with a barrage of ballistic missiles and drones. It came just a day before President Trump and Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky are to meet in Florida to talk about prospects for peace. On his
Yeah,
way
rats
to the
would
U.S.,
be cool. I would love to control rats, not gonna lie.
Zelensky met with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney in Halifax. He said Russia's attack was revealing.
This attack is, again, Russia's answer on our peace efforts. And it's
Oh,
really
politicians are destroying us. No, they're not. It's the Republican Party. They're the ones that are doing most of the damage. They sold their soul to MAGA, and now it's like the Democracy Party versus the Authoritarian Party. Oh no, not the both sides cope. Please, for the love of God. Okay, Robert, I'm just gonna lay it out for you. You voted for Donald Trump. You were super disappointed by his actions. You've become jaded to politics, and now you just say both sides. Well, I'm here to tell you. Oh, so you don't vote? Well, then your opinion doesn't matter. Okay. Gotcha. Ultra watermelon. No, bro, you're the one coping right now. You're the one who is so uninformed about our political system that you think it's run by like a group of dark elites. You vote locally? I'm sure. I'm sure.
show that Putin doesn't want peace, and we want peace.
In Kyiv, residents and first responders assessed the damage from the attacks. Several apartment buildings and key energy infrastructure facilities were hit. At least one person was killed and nearly 30
And
others
how can
were
you
injured.
even say both sides are equal now? Like, you have one side quite literally protecting PDF files, and then you have the other side actively trying to expose PDF files. I mean, what are we talking about here? We're in a fantasy land if we're saying both sides are bad.
A quick-moving winter storm swept across the Great Lakes and Northeast overnight, dumping snow and ice that snarled post-Christmas travel in the air and on the roads. More than 1,500 flights have been canceled since last night and thousands more delayed. The National Weather Service warned people to stay off the roads. The storm had largely wound down by this afternoon. California has dropped its lawsuit against the Trump administration over the cancellation of more than $4 billion in federal
47 not
grants
new to
for a
Washington games. Okay.
high-speed rail project. Plans for a high-speed rail train between San Francisco and Los Angeles have been in the works for more than 15 years. The California High-Speed Rail Authority said the federal government...
And I don't get this. Like, all the Republicans were complaining about how leftists want to defund the police, and then we run a candidate who is much more friendly towards the police, and then everybody wants to cry and shit their pants. I mean, come on.
Government is no longer a trustworthy partner and that they'll move forward with its own funding. Earlier
Oh
this
my
month,
God, Bill, you literally just described it in the almost... You painted a pretty great picture. Let me say this. So Bill Clockwell says, this one side wants me to eat my vegetables, bleh, and the other side wants me to kill everything. I hold dear that these are both equally bad situations.
Report from the Pew Charitable Trust and its partners predicted that plastic pollution will more than double over the next 15 years. That's the equivalent of dumping nearly a garbage truck full of plastic waste every second. In the middle of America, hundreds of miles from an ocean, Cassidy Arena of PBS Nebraska visited an innovative company that wants to turn plastic pollution into something constructive.
When people walk into this crowded warehouse in Omaha,
Yeah, that's a good point, Robert. Just because you personally know him, like, local politics actually turn out to be a lot more, I'm not going to say corrupt, but people get more favors, you know, like, it's much more it's not as centralized. So yeah, they're looking to gain power in any way. And I don't see that as an issue personally. I think that, you know, to be a leader, you want to, you know, you're going to want to have that power. It's just we have to make sure we're getting good leaders. I am 25, my brother in Christ. So what happened in 1994 does not affect me today. Well, it could still affect me today, but that was what, 30 years ago? Yeah, things have changed in 30 years, believe it or not. And I'd be interested to see, you know, what that bill included. But was she running on her 94 crime bill? Was that what she was running on? Wow, it does. What you know about the government, kid.
Nebraska, the first thing they'll see are bags of what looks like garbage piled floor to ceiling. But First Star CEO Patrick Leahy explains this is not trash. It's his company's treasure.
What makes First Star Recycling unique is then we take hard to recycle plastics. We take those, re-recycle them in-house. We don't ship them out.
I'm still kind of
place.
waking up. Sorry if I'm not as talkative right now, guys.
And we make plastic lumber or pellets with it.
Depending on what they use.
Leahy's company has long
But yeah,
been
this
a lead-
guy, I mean, you don't even vote federally. So why does it matter? You don't vote, you know what I mean? Like these people that are like, I vote locally. Like, no, you don't. I'm sorry, no, you don't. Ah.
leader in plastic waste management in Nebraska, and it's now trying out a new type of recycling, taking plastics culled from oceans around the world and turning them into building materials.
Plagiarism and lies for Biden in the 90s. Oh my goodness. This guy. I personally look at what the parties are running on right now. You know what I mean? Like that's why it takes it takes a little bit of knowledge and information. It was in the 80s, kid. Look it up. No.
Says his company is one of the few in the U.S. that processes trash considered too hard to recycle. Things like gum wrappers, plastic silverware, and grocery bags. 4,000 miles across the Pacific.
Yeah, I know,
World
right,
of
Toby? It's like, oh, you're personally aggrieved? That gives you the... I mean, it's always personalized politics with these people. Like, they can't take a step back and look at the situation as it is. They always have to take any policy position as a personal slight, or else they're meanies.
Leahy's innovative
It's
business
always
impressed
kids.
the Center
Oh my
for
god. See, like, these guys hate America. I think they just hate America. I think that's it. Like, they hate the new generation. They don't like anything about it. They hate that, and that's the future of America right there. And instead of like trying to convince people, they're just gonna shit their britches.
Marine Debris Research, or CMDR, at Hawaii Pacific University in Honolulu. It specializes in cleaning the oceans of plastics.
Yeah, anyone under 35 is young to this guy.
Including discarded fishing gear. Every year, they collect nearly 200 tons of it. And the trash is not just from the waters off Hawaii. It comes from all corners of the globe, including a debris field known as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, located roughly mid...
Yes, that's somewhere I want to visit someday, guys. Let me go to the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. That's on my bucket list. That 84 crime bill was bad, but people act like Bush didn't expand on that considerably and made it worse, like it was just a Democrat thing, that the Republicans wouldn't have made the bill much worse. I don't know. I'll be honest. I'll have to look into the 94 crime bill, but if what, just based on what I'm seeing, yeah, it sounds like it may have been Kind of like a lot of bills from the 90s are. I've noticed that. So a lot of bills from the 90s are a lot, I don't know. They're not it. Have made poor policy decisions, never votes again, ensures that he has no effect. Amen. And let's get back to the dichotomy that that I've brought up of he's saying both sides are bad. Well, just look at what the parties are doing right now. One is fighting for your health care. One is fighting for affordability. One is fighting for pedophiles to get exposed. The other one, tax cuts and yeah, those Epstein files, we don't need to see them. We don't need to see them. Like, I don't get this guy's talking about how like bad politicians are, but he doesn't want to expose the most bad, the ones that are abusing children. Doesn't even vote independent federally, but will do it locally because I have met them and they have had a job. Yeah, right.
Way between Hawaii and California.
I've met some of my local politicians and they're scumbags, dude. A lot of them. Oh my God, there was this one that won a seat somehow. I have no idea how he won because I never saw any of his advertising, but anyways, he's a real piece of work. He's like younger than me. And his ad was my opponent is for they/them. I'm for you. Like so basic. I'm honestly, I would love to, if I can get the ability to run against that loser, I would take it in a heartbeat.
California. It's
and his when local elections come around, you guys will know because I'll be talking about it. His website was made from the fucking 90s, dude. Oh my God. Oh yeah, some local politicians are crazy and then some are good, you know? It's like it's a mixed bag. And you have to be an informed voter, and as is your duty in America, and make the decision on whether you want to vote for them or not. All right, we're opening this up. America is changing again. Obama fundamentally changed the country, making it suck. Trump is making it great again. Okay, I don't know how sending $40 billion to Argentina is making America necessarily great. Yeah, I don't think that's doing great things for us, but okay. I don't know how pardoning drug traffickers who trafficked over 400 million tons into the country, I don't know how that's making it great again. Yeah. I don't know how getting rid of long-standing members of communities simply because they are unregistered is making America great again, but I could see where you're coming from if you're brain dead. Yeah, for sure.
Senator Booker also said we should have bipartisan agreement. I think that's a great idea. We should have bipartisan agreement. How about we all come together and say, let's stop murders? How about we all come together and say, let's stop rape? How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
You know what? Amen. Let's come together. What's failing is the Democrat message because their approval in Congress now fallen into the 11. Okay, if we're going to look at the polls, then those the exact same polls were saying Kamala was going to win by, like, what, 20%? Let's look at the results. Let's look at the special elections where you guys have been getting your asses stomped on you with the margins. I mean, how can a Republican county go from 22% to Trump to only 9% to a Trump-backed candidate? That's because the American people are sick of what the Republicans are serving up. Every one of these podcasts, hey, this isn't a podcast about the Republicans failing, but this is, again, damn shooting in their pants. The CP report. Nobody trusts that CP report. It is messy as hell, dude. They weren't even able to get the prices for some day. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody trusts that CBI report. Yeah, we're winning. I'm sorry to say, but we're the ones winning. You guys are taking the major L's right now. Can't stop smiling. That's actually probably an issue. You should probably get that checked out. If you can't stop, like physically, might be a bit of a problem. Candidates like Crooked Crockett oh, these ones are my favorite. Radicals Mamdani. Well, you realize that Donald Trump likes Mamdani, right? So your narrative goes against your own dude. Donald Trump likes Mamdani. They can't stop winning. They keep telling me how much they are winning, right? It's like, oh, we're winning, we're winning. Meanwhile, they're losing every special election result, barely winning in Tennessee. Tennessee! Tell you don't live in New York, so it's not your problem. Amen. It's not. And also, like, this fear-mongering about Mamdani from the right is funny because their own guy, Donald J. Trump, was laughing with them and having a good time.
Of floating ocean plastic in the world.
The plastic pollution
that short-circuited. I don't know if the recent GOP update gives leaves that tidbit in. I feel like they probably erased that because it doesn't go against their it does go against their narrative that Mamdani's this evil, crooked person.
The ocean is transboundary. It's impacting every single
dude,
ocean.
and in I'm so excited for the midterms. You have no idea.
Jennifer Lynch is the co-director of CMDR. She says it's going to take many more efforts like this one in Nebraska to turn this plastic crisis around.
Plastic pollution has traveled the entire globe, and every single human on the planet is experiencing some exposure to microplastics.
That blanket exposure comes after more than 50 years of nationwide recycling efforts, which have failed to keep pace with the surge of plastics.
That's because we don't hold the companies accountable. We do more now, but we would see a drastic change if we were holding these companies a little bit more accountable for their plastic distribution.
Patrick Leahy acknowledges the business he's building faces hurdles.
I swear some people love to point to places they have never been or will never visit as somehow that will come to them if they don't freak out about it. Oh yeah, Republicans in the UK. Oh my God.
The lumber itself needs to prove
You'd
it can
think
meet
the
real-world
UK has
construction
gone to-
standards, but perhaps
gone
the
to
biggest
the
challenge is
dogs.
sustainability. Do the upsides of recycling plastic in Nebraska justify the costs and carbon footprint of shipping from Hawaii? Leahy believes the answer is to one day bring the solution closer to the problem.
The hope being if we can show that this is successful, we can start a similar kind of plant there in Hawaii where they can just process it on site.
Leahy's dream is that the synthetic boards he's making can one day help rebuild Maui, which was nearly destroyed 2 years ago in devastating wildfires.
It's always about the quality of the product. Even though recycling and sustainability is a great
Yeah,
story,
it is kind of weird to do in a landlocked state, but I mean, it brought jobs to the town, I'm sure, so.
Product is not superior either by quality or price, then people won't want to use it for whatever project they have.
He told us his quest for now is to prove his lumber is up to the task and that a state from
cool.
the Great Plains can play a role in cleaning up the world's oceans. For PBS News Weekend, I'm Cassidy Arena in Omaha, Nebraska.
That was actually that's kind of interesting how they're bringing it to Nebraska. I mean, I would like to see it. Yeah, if we could get like if we could set up like a couple of these factories on the coast. Well, that's funny. Set up factories on the coast, but or near the coast. This might be able to drastically reduce the plastic over a long enough period of time. And we can reuse it. I really like that idea.
Still to come on PBS News Weekend, a cutting-edge study to try to better protect Yellowstone's wolves.
Yep,
and in our
that's
weekend
Toby's.
spotlight, best-selling author Mitch Albom.
Toby's dream.
This is PBS News Weekend from the David M. Rubenstein studio at WETA in Washington.
I'll be honest, I don't have
home of
much
the
to
PBS
talk
News
about
Hour,
today,
weeknights
so
on PBS.
Might just watch all this.
In-
Get ready for listening to wolves.
Movies and literature, a wolf's haunting howl can signify danger or untamed nature. In real life, researchers in Yellowstone National Park are analyzing those howls with cutting-edge AI technology to better...
Okay, don't lie. It would be so funny if, like, they were interviewing one of the researchers and they were just, like, a complete, like, a furry. Just straight up a furry.
monitor and track wolves. Matt Standel of PBS Montana explains.
6:53.
Talk about Sonic!
Here in Yellowstone National Park's Lamar Valley, wolves from one of the park's 9 packs have made a kill. Let's go ahead and feel free to take a look through there. That's the Junction Butte pack.
Or yeah, just like a crazy dude. Like somebody, oh my god, somebody who's suffering from, you can't actually turn into a werewolf, so. But somebody who's suffering from lupus.
It's the end of August, the peak of bison rutting, or mating season, and a time when wolves increase.
They talk to me and tell me the future. Just the other day, I was talking to old White Eyes there. He's the older one.
Prey on bison. Many become injured or weakened during the fierce competition.
Dude,
for
we
a
got bison. We got bison in my local area. We have a literal zoo area for bison. The chances of a furry working on this, even if it had nothing to do with the animals, is still pretty high. Like, these jobs just attract furries. Yeah. Like, I guarantee one of these people working on this at least has, like, some interesting pictures of anthropomorphic animals on his phone.
And the wolves take advantage.
Oh, so I've almost
wolf
100%
technician.
completed Red Dead Redemption 2, and I want nothing more to do than to go to the Appalachia Trail. It is a beautiful place, I've heard. I want to travel all of America. That's my dream. I think this nation is great. I think it's got great people, and it's got some great views.
Jeremy Sundaraj is monitoring the pack as they feed and teaching curious tourists about wolves.
Oh, don't worry. After this next 3 years, it's going to be... Let's see if I can trigger some of the... It'll be open borders. Anybody can just come across. It's open borders, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to let anybody through. That's what I want.
Well, what we're trying to do here is just kind of count how many there are, record their behavior, if we can see like what the carcass is. This is almost certainly a kill.
Oh, it's not that dangerous. I mean, right now tensions are high, but you know, America's a big place, and it's got all sorts of people. You don't got to worry about some hocals. Black lives still matter. Amen.
Just based on how they're behaving around it. And if we're quiet, we can actually maybe hear them howling.
Their howls have become
on
central
the trail.
to a
Maybe. Yeah, near Appalachia, you need to carry some firearms. We do have some. If you've ever seen The Hills Have Eyes, it's kind of what you're dealing with there. The other day, I found the Scottish Highlands and the Appalachians are the same mountains, so Dylan Burns and Loner share backyards. True.
new cutting-edge conservation
That's cool.
project using artificial intelligence to decode sound recordings. This development in the field of bioacoustics could redefine how wolves like these are monitored in the wild.
A lot of banjo.
since 1995.
Oh, look at these amazing heroes. Look at these heroes. I mean, actually, like, dude, these guys...
When gray wolves were reintroduced,
he's literally
into
carrying a
Yellowstone,
wolf.
Park biologists have used airplanes to spot them, helicopters to track them, and
A
dart
banjo in
guns
the
to tag
Smokies
them.
and to talk to wolves. That sounds like a tale some people in the Appalachia would tell people. Oh, be careful, old Jimmy. You never know about Toby the wolf talker. I don't know. She'll play you a banjo and make you fall asleep if you're not careful. Make sure to have a worm in your pocket or else you'll be sitting there for the rest of your life. I want to live a tale of the witch in the hills. That's my dream as well, honestly. I want to be the wizard that people come to for magical trinkets and odds and ends, that sort of thing.
So they can be fitted with radio and GPS collars.
And you can see most of the wolf talking is happening in the night.
Now, Bioacoustics is offering a new, less invasive way to study them using sound.
We'll have a band. It'll be a band of misfits and outcasts.
Advances in artificial intelligence to one day potentially decode wolf communication by matching their howls with specific behavior.
Oh, that is so cute. Look how adorable that cutie is.
Not only can we hear them here and record...
This guy's a furry.
Their howling 24/7, 365 days a year, but we often can link behaviors of wolves by observing them when they are vocalizing. What is the cause and effect of howling?
Dan Staler is the senior wildlife biologist for Yellowstone National Park.
Dan's the furry. We found him. We found him, ladies and gentlemen. Doing great work, and I appreciate it. It's like the baby translator in The Simpsons, but for wolves in real. Yeah, it's actually very interesting.
Job that includes gathering the data from sound recorders like this one, hidden in a tree near park headquarters.
One more, Jeremy.
It's kind of cool, like they're able to, I know wolves have like independent, like their howls are dependent on packs and stuff too. So
recording the barks,
they have like
yips,
different
and howls of Yellowstone's 9 wolf packs, more than 100 wolves for the past year.
This might be where this actually might be where the data came from.
And we detect unique pack signatures and use that.
He says they've collected over 7,000 wolf sounds and have been able to identify the acoustic signatures of several wolf packs in the park.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about. They have like their own dialect.
Staler thinks this bioacoustic work could partially replace the hazardous duty of capturing and collaring wolves.
And so what I could envision down the road, a decade from now, is that we may not have to collar certain packs or put
straight up have dialects. That's crazy. And this is another benefit. They're not going to have to collar the wolves if they could just listen to their howls and know what they're saying.
Areas of the park. And then with new cutting-edge AI tools, we hope, we're not sure yet, but we hope we can answer really interesting questions about what are wolves actually saying, or can we count wolves? Can we identify unique individuals?
Good morning, everybody. My name is...
Oh, that was cringe. Oh, God. Not a TED Talk, please. No, not a TED Talk. Holy shit. I remember... I wish I was more of a nerd growing up and I became a park ranger, LOL. That, I actually... There's some openings for park rangers in my local area. It's always been something I wanted to do, but... I don't know how long I'll...
Linguistics researcher and software engineer Dr. Jeff Reed has been experimenting with AI to study wolves near his home just north of Yellowstone.
Okay, this is dope. I'm sorry. This is fucking definite furry. I don't know. This guy gives me more of the crazy scientist who wanted to talk to wolves ever since he was young vibes. Dude, this could be a comedy show. This could be a comedy show right here.
Lending his technical expertise
In the best
to
way.
the Yellowstone Wolf Project.
Oh, look at those little cute doggies. Oh.
This is a wolf chorus howl, and we're using AI from Google to see if we can count the number of wolves in a chorus howl.
You see what I'm saying? Like this crazy scientist, not crazy in a bad way, by the way, who's just like, his origin story is a wolf talked to me once when I was a child and I never forgot it. Oh, can I find that? Can I find that? It's like POV, your dog hits one of these. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, is it this one? It's like this happened to him. Oh god, I hate this fucking sound. God, that's so horrifying. Yeah, I'd be convinced at that moment too, to be like, yep, I gotta fucking talk to dogs. So scary, dude. AI is not, I don't like AI being in that way. Literally once an owl landed right next to me, and ever since I think they are magical creatures. Owls are magical creatures. You can talk to them if you eat a right type of mushroom.
So this is a group of wolves. It's like you walking into a bar and all the people are talking, and you can pick out a particular person in the room. Wolves can pick out other wolves that they know in this cacophony of sound.
The key to the technology is pattern recognition, according to Reed. These colorful patterns are what's called a spectrogram of wolf howls,
That apparently
representing
attacked people too. You're the chosen one. That owl chose you. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, boosts my viewability, and it gets the liberal message out there.
their strength and frequency over time.
Baird owl.
Artificial intelligence, he says, can pick out the patterns and identify individual wolves much faster than any human could.
These battery-operated devices use AI.
Reed leads a company that makes the high-tech AI-enabled field cameras and audio recorders that Yellowstone is using to monitor its vast space. But these cameras, called GrizzCams, don't just listen to wildlife. They can also pick up human conversations and activities from hundreds of yards away. Animal science and
an owl got inside my aunt's kitchen when I was staying with her, and it slept in there with exhaust. Yeah, owls are huge. They're actually very big. It landed so silently next to me that we just stared at each other. That's sick. Fell in love with the owl, Toby. And Toby says yes, so Toby now has an owl lover. That's great.
Human
Actually, hold on.
Privacy in
what happens in this case? What the hell do you do here? A bison crossing?
Yellowstone could soon be on a collision course. 25 of these cameras will be installed in a grid.
Toby, are you woman? That's not something you need to be asking, Vernon. It is crazy how silently they fly. It is kind of crazy. They just kind of jump out like a spring.
Across the park, thanks to a large donation from a company called Colossal Biosciences.
For me, the moonshot with bioacoustics and wolves is, can we reduce the conflict between wolves and humans?
Matt James is the chief animal officer at Colossal.
Oh my god, dude, they have a chief, they have an officer in charge of negotiations between the wolves and humans. That's great. Toby is a AI. They are completely genderless. They don't exist, much like myself.
Biosciences. He says AI recording technology can be used to protect wolves from humans.
And can we explain that these are empathetic, emotionally complex animals that aren't mindless hunters, and they deserve the ability to coexist with us?
Colossal
This guy is the furry. We found the furry. We finally found the furry.
$175,000 of Yellowstone's bioacoustic study. Plus, the company has hired a team of AI scientists to analyze the data the GrizzCams are collecting.
We're really hopeful then that they can collect tons and tons of data that our team can then begin to distill and train the AI to move on from just classifying wolf calls to classifying individual calls.
As we've mentioned, all that data could...
Vernon. Oh, God. I knew, you know, I didn't even know if these people existed on the internet anymore, but...
could include sounds and activities from people in the park. The technology is so new that ethicists are still trying to understand the implications for human privacy in wild places like Yellowstone.
This is all data that can be collected. And
University of Montana philosophy professor Christopher Preston studies the ethics of human interactions with the natural world and how technology can shape those interactions.
I mean, if you ask me, would I rather a wolf gets darted from a helicopter?
Why is there always a British person? Why is there always a British person, man?
Have a radio collar put on it, or a wolf gets listened to by a 24/7 recording device. It's pretty clear to me that I'd rather have the wolf be listened to by the recording device, because that's a non-invasive technique, much less likely to cause any sort of harm to the animal involved.
But Preston worries the cameras could inadvertently vacuum up human sound and images without people knowing they're being recorded.
We do have a different sort of ethic for the human world to the one that we have.
Here we go. We got some cope in the chat. Trump didn't terminate the Constitution and patriotically unite the separation of powers just so some entitled people can think they have the free right to express criticism of our dear leader. Amen. Amen. I didn't. Sorry. I first I saw the Trump and then the Patriot, and amen. You know, Trump didn't place those judges on that bench just so we can complain. It's what our founding fathers would have wanted. Amen. Trump didn't call up Texas for 5,000 more votes just so I can complain.
Wild world. You go into landscapes like that to not be part of a system where people are looking at you, where people know what you're doing. And you're certainly not getting away from it all if there is the potential for
those
your
meddling
movements to go
judges
into a
and their
database somewhere.
pesky
As
checks and
Yellowstone
balances.
experiments with this controversial...
God damn it. I hate them. No, I know what you're saying. You got me there for a minute. You got me there for a minute. I won't lie. It was kind of convincing, but then when you were like, then when I saw the separation of powers so they can come entitled people, I was like, okay, I think this might be a meme. You got me there for a minute, though. I can't lie.
In the coming months, he believes AI-powered bioacoustics will...
That's good. Clearly funded by Soros, and snowball-rich foreigners have no right to interfere in our election. I hope Elon Musk deports them. That's some good satire. I like that. And I would have gotten away with it, too, if it weren't for those meddling libs. Arg.
Will help his team better protect these iconic animals as they learn more from every howl that reverberates across this majestic landscape.
I guarantee you, I could see, you would see a tweet
We're
like
going to keep this study going. There'll be new emerging questions, but the fundamental question will be, why is Yellowstone's wildlife community important to this landscape, important to Montana, and important to the world?
For PBS News Weekend, I'm Matthew Standall in Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah, the lack of spelling errors and the use of too many syllables gave it away, unfortunately. Yeah, and you had a severe lack of rage smacking your keyboard. But other than that, pretty good, pretty good. The average lifespan of a wolf in Yellowstone is 4 to 5 years. Oh. Average lifespan outside of the park is 2 to 3 years. Oh.
Finally tonight, a weekend spotlight encore. Our visit with Mitch Albom, newspaper columnist, author, benefactor. He puts love and hope at the center of nearly everything he does.
The deportations will continue, and white people are done placating non-whites. What? Have fun with the reality that white Gen Z is not failing for the gay race communism anymore. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, our gay race communism is doing great, sir. I'll have you know. Don't you dare go after our gay race communism ideology. How dare you? That's what I build my entire existence on, is gay race communism ideology. Can't believe you.
Hudson building. Spending the day with Mitch Albom in Detroit is not a leisurely experience.
We try to keep everything happy.
At Detroit Water Ice Factory, the nonprofit dessert store he started to help fund his humanitarian work, he whips up a Motown twist with his namesake, Mr. Mitch's chocolate peanut butter.
Up out here.
Yes, then a stop at Say Detroit Play, a one-time abandoned city rec center.
Toby's actually my liberal handler. If I say anything wrong, she's the one that lets the gay race communist commissars know.
Transformed into a multi-million-dollar learning center for hundreds of school students where academics come before play.
We're not going to build...
Oh, wow. Congratulations, Cap WNs. I mean, that's great to hear. 3 times? I mean, you know, I can only hope my son will change their gender 2 times, and then my daughter will hopefully be able to change it back on the way. But 3 times, that's impressive. She got back to class. She made her read a book about CRT to the class dressed in drag during the in Iraq, right? That's how they
something that's
like
good enough for a poor neighborhood in Detroit. We're going to build something that's good enough for the best neighborhood in all of Michigan. If you deliver high expectations, you'll get high performances. If you come in with low expectations, oh, well, this is good enough, that's exactly the performances you're going to get. And all I did was kind of get it going, but they take the ball and run with it, and it's, you can see it's
by the way, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, please consider to like and subscribe. I do a stream every day from typically 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And if you guys have any disagreements or just want to come and chat at some point, I do call-ins, typically towards the later half of the day. So let me get my streaming link here, or my Discord link, and if you guys want to join the server, feel free to. There it is. Sending it out into the ether. Canada is a beautiful country, I agree. I went to pick him up from his co-ed soccer game and found both teams had to take a knee in protest because the other side had a trans on the team. Amen. You know, at least I'm glad we're finally starting to update the laws. Bro, you changed the whole layout. I thought someone was playing an old MS-DOS space game. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's kind of what I'm going for.
Joy
I heard about the protests and started deporting everyone. We barely made it out alive. Oh, I didn't know we had a veteran.
While there, the
This is
one-time
okay.
professional.
I'll be honest. This story doesn't really grasp my my attention too much. So, I think we'll probably end it on this man teaching the piano to young people. I think something like that. Anyways, let's see the top moments in U.S. politics 2025. AP put out a video about this. I'm a big AP fan. Sorry, stretching. And I think it'd be interesting to kind of go through memory lane here. So let's watch. Whoa, calm down. We don't need to be going that quick, man. We are not in a rush today. Maybe. There we go. Yeah, affordability didn't even exist until Biden's woke scientists started claiming it does, right? Like, everything was totally fine. Dude, money didn't even exist before Biden. Think about that. Monetary value? Yeah, you can thank Biden for that. Luckily, Lord Trump finally is coming in to drain the swamp and get rid of that deep state. Why even bother teaching piano to young people? All the best players are always adults. I mean, right? Exactly, dude. Like, let them play some video games or something. They can start that when they're an adult.
2025 began with the funeral of former President Jimmy Carter and the inauguration of President Donald Trump.
I forgot about that. Rest in peace to JC. Jimmy Carter seemed like one of the good ones, you know what I mean? Like one of the good ones, you know, but he would be the Bill Clinton if Bill Clinton didn't wasn't on the Jeffrey Epstein plane.
Due to cold weather, the ceremony was moved to the Capitol Rotunda.
I know, right? Way too much illegal irrigation. Those crops were basically drowning in how much irrigation Biden was giving them. Luckily, Trump said no. You know, Trump was like that dude in Idiocracy when he discovers they're using Gatorade to water the plants instead of water. He's like, oh, fuck. I bet you guys didn't even know this. Oh my gosh, now the farm's gonna we can finally grow our own food.
So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
Withdrawal from the Paris Climate Treaty, EI and woke policies, refugee admission crisis at the border, public safety threats.
So this is January 6th?
Presidential pardon, that's what we got. Nobody gets those. People like me.
The Trump administration continues immigration enforcement.
Yeah, you know why? Because you beat the shit out of our fucking officers, you loser. It's electrolytes what plants crave, right? Donald was the one to finally show, oh, we don't use Gatorade. They're starting to release confirmed information how the U.S. has been funding ISIS for a long time. I knew about this since before 9/11 and funding. I don't think funding ISIS. I mean, you could say that, like, we were funding the, what groups were we funding? They were the Taliban originally, the Mujahideen. But since then, I don't think, We've been funding.
Pentagon is set to send active duty troops to help secure the southern border.
Did you see that? There was a collision
between a commercial plane and a military helicopter.
And I'd believe that if ISIS was like in the headlines more. I guess ISIS still is in the headlines, but they're not really ISIS anymore. They're like Boko Haram and stuff like that. They're not necessarily the Islamic State.
after America's deadliest aviation disaster in nearly a quarter century.
I'd like to request a moment of silence for...
The Middle East is complicated, folks. I make no fucking, I obviously know the Middle East is complicated. There's a lot of moving parts there, so I could be wrong about that.
Victims and their families, please.
President Trump's favorite economic tool is the tariff.
Tariffs on Mexico, on Canada, on China.
You added 120,000 jobs.
Executive order to ban men from competing in women's sports. It's about
Thank God. Thank God. Finally, men can stop being in women's sports. The most pressing issue of 2025 was that men were in women's sports. So he closed that up. A form of counterterrorism against the U.S. what they carried out their own. It's turns out Trump just got confused in the first term and thought he was funding ICE. Yeah, America isn't great again. America's been great. It'll stay great. And all these people, like, Trump is just un-American at the end of the day. He thinks this country sucks and wants to change it. I think this country's great and want to see more from it. And I know we can do more.
First time in history flying over the recently renamed Gulf of America.
Prime Minister Benjamin
Netanyahu.
King
Indian
Abdullah.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
French counterpart Emmanuel Macron.
Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. Trump has cut short talks with Ukraine's leader.
Your country's in big trouble.
Your country's in big trouble. It's in big trouble. Your country's in big trouble. You know that, right, buddy? Big trouble. Oh, my headphone died. One moment. You're in big trouble. Hey, Trump, you're in big trouble. These midterms are coming and you can't stop them, bubs. Still think it's more accurate to call him draconian rather than fascist. I mean, I actually think Trump is like, honestly, a perfect image of American fascism, you know? This rich, like, basically, I would say, oligarch-esque type character that can throw his money around and eventually gets into a position of power that he wants he wants it all to be congregated into him, or conglomerated into him. So I think Trump is like a really good example of America's own brand of fascism. Because you're not, like, with the fascism of, like, let's say Nazi Germany, it's a lot different. I mean, it definitely hits the same notes, right? But it's a lot different in aesthetic, not just aesthetics, but just an overall, I guess, culture might be the word I'm looking for. It's, yeah, Trump's his own brand of American fascist, you know? Oh, hold on. It seems like I'm dropping frames. I don't know why that is. Obsession with aesthetics like fascist. Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. I dropped some frames there. Hopefully it didn't, affect you too much. Who wants to control the media environment? Oh, yeah. Which is real disgusting, in my opinion, because, like, America is built on free speech, and media is an extension of speech. Anyways, let me continue. I think the fact he isn't allowed to follow just screws his unconstitutional actions makes him more draconian since he used harsher versions of the law. Well, sometimes he just totally goes around the law. You know what I mean? Sometimes he'll just go around it completely, and it's like, dude, what are you... Like the Epstein law that he just signed into like the Epstein bill he just signed into law. Like, Why would you sign that if you knew your DOJ wasn't going to be able to fulfill it? Wouldn't you just send it back to the House and have them redo it? Like, you don't have to sign something if you don't believe in it.
No, you've done a lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
I, Marco Rubio.
Yeah, I'd say Trump is very vindictive too. Yeah, Todd Blanche is really screwed. I think that whole DOJ is kind of fucked. Like, Pam Bondi, how is she gonna get away from? Dude, she's the one who literally said, "Yeah, I have him right on my desk." She must have had a huge fucking desk.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. We solemnly swear.
First cabinet meeting of President Trump's second term.
One of the most important initiatives is DOGE.
We're here at USAID headquarters. They've been given 15 minutes to go inside and bring...
I am a total... You got me. Dead to rights, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Conklin got me. I am a Muslim simp. How did you know? This is why I kind of like keeping my face cam off, so these people just have no idea who they're talking to. Todd hasn't submitted a single reason for any redacted part, and he was supposed to when the files was released. Well, also, did you see how he said the redactions were for the victims, and then one of the reporters goes like, or a couple journalists go out to talk to the victims, and the victims say, yeah, I never even talked to Todd Blanche or anyone. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean?
All their personal belongings out.
In front of everything. This is what democracy looks. And I do agree. This is what democracy looks like. I think protesting is like part of the American fabric. So, anyway.
And to my fellow citizens, America is back. DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer.
Well, Toby said, I mean, Trump and his allies have said it himself. He doesn't want this to be like, he wants this run to be a revenge run for all the people that wronged him, you know? And that type of vindictive, like, that's something you don't want in a leader. You don't want that vindictive trait. You want somebody who is pragmatic and can see past their past disagreements.
Cancer, Secret Service Director, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
A well-known Palestinian activist at Columbia University was arrested by ICE agents.
Secretary Rubio reserves the right to revoke the visa of Mahmoud Khalil.
I wouldn't quite say that, actually. I mean, maybe the lower courts, but the Supreme Court, you can't lie. They have been very lenient. However, the recent rulings of not being allowed to deploy troops in Chicago and being allowed to deploy like National Guard troops basically abroad, that does give me hope that we might actually be, like, the Supreme Court might finally realize the moment that we're in, you know what I mean? And that is true. Just because he failed doesn't mean he didn't try, you know what I mean?
The Trump administration has sent hundreds of immigrants to El Salvador and Honduras.
A journalist was added to a Signal chat where Pentagon Chief Pete Hegseth detailed U.S. airstrikes on Yemen Houthis.
The Secretary of Defense did something that was reckless.
Nobody's texting war plans, and that's all I have to say about it.
Trump is the first U.S. president to serve as chairman of the Kennedy.
Well, that turned out to be a bit of a lie. That turned out to be a bit of a lie from Pete there.
Center. We're going to make a lot of changes. Pretty much everything. Needs a lot of work. My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day. As they charge us, we charge them. We charge them less, so how can anybody be upset? Very happy Easter to everyone.
At 7:35 this morning, Pope Francis died.
He was 88 years old.
I don't know if I agree with you there, Brian. Like, I think it seems to me that Trump doesn't really have a respect for our democracy. You know what I mean? And, you know, we can shift the blame onto the staff. We can do that. And I definitely think, like, for example, Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, probably Pete Hegseth, they're probably going to be criminally charged for stuff. But, you know, we also have to look at who put them there. It was Donald Trump. You know, the buck stops with Trump. And Trump did run that he would be a lot more, the buck would stop with him. So, while I do agree that a lot of his staff's actions may not necessarily be his, like a lot of his staff's actions sometimes may not be through his directive, he is still at the very end the culpable party because of putting them there. I mean, you can't put Kash Patel as leader of the FBI. The man can't even stand up in he can't even put his feet against the ground on a chair. That one picture always kills me.
He was history's first Latin American pope.
President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met before the funeral service for Pope Francis in the Vatican.
Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney says he will meet with President Trump.
We don't need anything from Canada. When I say they should be a state, I mean that.
It's not.
You know, also something else I want to... Todd Blanche ran on that pipe bomber conspiracy for like so long. Or not Todd Blanche. Who's the deputy FBI director? He's an old man who was targeted by those who called him friend. It wounded men's pride and ego, but also predictable. I don't know. I think he's just more vindictive. I'll be honest. He feels very vindictive and not... doesn't really feel like the America is at the forefront of his head. Comey? No, it was what was his name? Is it Todd Blanche? He had a podcast. FBI is Todd Blanche the Baldy? I'm sorry, there are so many names. No, Todd Blanche. Okay, Todd Blanche is his personal lawyer. That's what I thought. Damn, what's his name? Dan Bongino. Okay, there we go. Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino. Todd Blanche is the Epstein guy. Yeah. So, Dan Bongino ran on the, like, he made an entire show basically talking about the, no, it wasn't James Comey, but he made an entire podcast talking about how
President Donald Trump
talking about how the pipe bomber was a Democrat hoax and all this. And then it comes out, like, he was mad about the election and he wasn't a Democrat at all. And then it's like silence. Like, shouldn't you be like, hey, I got that wrong. And, you know, it was just, we got it wrong at the time. I wasn't working with all the information. Like, is that much to ask for? Because now people, like, that watched his show probably don't know what to think and are having, like, a fucking mental breakdown or something.
Trump travels to the Middle East. Reportedly, he'll accept a luxury Boeing
Yeah, he
jumbo.
just seemed like some dude that was fairly mentally ill. And, you know, was upset about the election or some, you know, so it wasn't some Democrat that, like, it wasn't a Democrat hoax like he was implying for years. And who knows, you know, like, those types of theories and conspiracies are what bring, like, are why people like Melissa Hortman get shot down. Rest in peace to her. Trump is geriatric. He cannot be held responsible for his... probably should be in hospice care.
Jet from
Well,
the royal
he's
family
decided
of Qatar.
not to be.
They're giving
so.
us a free jet. I could say no, or I could say thank you very much.
Elon Musk is criticizing the Trump legislative agenda.
Elon Musk is leaving his government role as a top advisor to President Donald Trump.
He's my friend, and he's done a fantastic job. He didn't need this.
President Trump is responding aggressively to protests over his immigration policies in Los Angeles.
Tensions escalating in Los Angeles as members of the National Guard use rubber bullets and...
He was upset about illegal immigrants being deported rather than giving him a chance to bail them out. Money on people who didn't know the law. Who are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about the bail bondman. Yeah, I don't know about that case. We'll have to see more when the trial comes out. It's interesting. But it did seem like he was just a complete amateur from what the FBI was saying about the actual the bomb device itself.
Tear gas to control thousands of protesters.
Opponents of President Donald Trump's administration are rallying in hundreds of cities during the military parade in Washington, which also happens to coincide with Trump's birthday.
Okay, and yeah, a military parade, that's not what we do in America. You know what I mean? We don't do military parades. That's not what we do here. Guy wasn't political at all, just opportunistic and myth. I mean, even if he was political, it's just like a lot of this is based in bad mental health. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm sure. Well, he did seem, I don't know. I'll have to look more into the case. He did seem a little more like thinking the election was stolen and stuff, but I don't know. Well, I'll have to look into that, but just hearing that is like, what? Yeah, like there are no military parades in America. That's just a fact. Well, I guess now there are, but the wheel speaking at the parade is still legendary to me. Oh, dude, it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing for our troops too, dude. Like, that's something else I feel people aren't giving enough credence to, is that he embarrasses our troops a lot. It was in 1991 at the end of the Gulf War. Yeah, like, that we just don't do them here. And I never even heard about that. That doesn't sound like what this was, which was just like, just an out and out display of like cool, I don't know. I don't even get military parades. Like, aren't we supposed to be hiding our weapons? You know?
President Donald Trump says a ceasefire between Iran and Israel is in effect after the deal initially faltered, leaving Trump frustrated with both sides.
They violated it, but Israel violated it too.
After nearly 27 hours of debate, Senate Republicans passed President Donald Trump's signature bill.
Republicans in the House hope to quickly pass President Donald Trump's tax and spending cuts package.
The motion is adopted.
I think this is one of the saddest days in modern American history.
Yeah, I agree with you, Brian. It's a pointless action, not only for intimidation and NK. Yeah, it's like the citizens know we have a powerful military. You don't have to tell us that. We get it, you know? It's a point of pride for us. But part of having the most powerful military is not showing it. Like, I think it postures that we're like afraid or something if we're constantly showing off. That's interesting. I think intimidation might be part of it. Yeah, but like, who are they intimidating? Most of the world is pretty afraid of America, so I think Brad, it just kind of pointless. It was for his fucking birthday, I guess. Purely an egotistical exercise. Very true. I see where you're coming from.
History. history.
President Trump is mourning the victims of the flash flooding in Texas last weekend.
All I'm gonna say is it is a tragedy what happened in Texas, and what is happening in California right now with their flooding is a tragedy. It's become deadly now. Was Marine birthday, but I'm sure they'd rather get drunk. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, I think that's what they did say. It was like the Army or Marines fucking 250th birthday. And yeah, I agree. They'd probably rather get drunk, you know? Go have a good time out in the bar. Just chill in their cabin or something, or in their quarters for a little bit.
Sympathy to all of the parents who lost beautiful young souls.
Jeffrey Epstein is back in the news.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Uh-oh. That was not a good line to say. Don't lie, that line lives rent-free, and like, it does in my head. Like, I don't know why, but sometimes I'll just like be chilling. Like, I don't know, at work or something, stocking the shelves, and I'll just be like, you guys still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy? Come on. Fix the crumbling infrastructure instead of doing parades. Fucking men. That's what I speak all the time. I think America needs an infrastructure, a lot more infrastructure reform. I'm going to do a... Oh. Okay. Well, it was there for a minute.
President Trump headed to Alaska for his summit with President Putin of Russia.
There was no deal reached on a ceasefire, as Trump had promised. Now all eyes are turning to Ukrainian President.
When it ends, I can't tell you, but the war is going to end.
President Donald Trump says he's deploying the National Guard to make the nation's capital safer.
The Trump administration has asked a military base outside of Chicago for support on immigration operations.
The Vice President and the Secretary of Defense made an unannounced visit to Union Station today.
Charlie Kirk is dead after being shot during an event at a Utah college.
Please rise for a moment of...
Yeah, I mean, and if there was a concerted effort by the federal government to really bring infrastructure reform, and that can be in many ways, but to truly bring infrastructure reform. So for example, like, states need help with it too. Like, if they could cover it, they would be. You know, it's a big issue, and it's not really something people think about. But living in a small town, you know, if that's how it is in a Democrat-run state, just think about how it is in, like, it's not really too Democrat anymore. It's more, or too Republican anymore. It's much more purple, but just in a small town, and our state revenue isn't very big either. So, like, there are roads that just have these giant potholes in it. We still have brick roads. Can you believe that? We have brick roads. And it's not because of, like, any historical value. It's just because it would cost too much to upgrade them up to real roads. So, like, a concerted effort to address these issues would save a lot of money and create a bunch of new jobs. It's truly crazy how some people in America are entirely at the whims of weather events. Oh yeah. Hey, I live in Tornado Alley, so I used to watch fucking tornadoes from my backyard. I actually remember one time a tornado was super close, and this was a really destructive one too. Scared the hell out of me, but luckily we survived.
Prayer for Charlie Kirk and his family.
None of us will ever forget Charlie Kirk, and neither now will history.
We're all Charlie Kirk.
President Donald Trump is coming to Britain for a state visit.
This is the first time that a head of state has been invited with a visible letter.
We'll be having a big discussion tomorrow about autism. So taking Tylenol.
That's a quote. We'll be having a discussion tomorrow about autism. That would be a good goal. hit soundbite.
Is not good.
As a mom of a child with autism, I felt like maybe I was being blamed for that.
We're inside one of the Senate office buildings trying to find senators to talk about the government shutdown.
Welcome, everybody, to day 2, day 3, day 10, day 14 of the Democrat government shutdown.
So I was covering a typical roundtable with President Trump. In the back of the room, Secretary Rubio had stepped in. Once I saw him reach over and grab a notepad, this was out of the ordinary and something was going to happen.
Yeah, I was just given a note by the Secretary of State saying that we're very close to a deal in the Middle East.
U.S. President Donald Trump is due on a one-day tour of the Middle East to meet with world leaders and discuss more details.
First hurricane in my lifetime in California. Closer I got, it spun my car a little. No one ever told me it smelled like the ocean. Oh, I actually didn't know that. That's crazy. Well, I'm glad to hear you're safe, by the way, man. That's great. Yeah, the weather events have been really bad. Like, there are some things that are just kind of unexplainable. I mean, besides climate change. Like, it's raining here in winter. In winter, it's raining. Like, you see the issue here, right? It should be snowing, but it's just fucking raining. And, like, the other day, the day before, it was like 80 degrees. Like I can remember one historical ice storm in the 1998 that resulted in mass power outage, the serious issue, and I live in Canada. Oh, dude, I remember the mass ice storm of, I think it was 2008. Holy shit, everything was frozen over in our, like you couldn't even open the door. It was so frozen over. There's not enough emergency procedures and infrastructure in place. I agree. And I think it scares me, right? Because with the weather changing so much, and look, Trump literally just cut, I swear to God, the last PBS NewsHour we watched together, he cut the astrological, the people in charge of studying the weather. He got rid of them. Like, what are we doing here, dude? With our ozone layer thinning out from repair, there's going to be some wild shit. Just imagining shutting off the flow on a damn weather like water is going to slam and backflow. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, dude. Like, it's really bad right now. And I wish like, just because he hates green energy doesn't mean he has to, like, say it's all a hoax, you know? Like, we were seeing positive job growth from the green energy sector. Like, really good job growth. And now it's obviously not as incentivized as much, but people in Texas die from cold snaps not due to the hypothermia, but from the exhaust from CO2 poisoning. Oh, yeah. That's horrifying. Oh, wow. I actually didn't know about that. Jesus.
About the ceasefire.
After 2 harrowing years in darkness and captivity, 20 courageous hostages are returning to the glorious embrace of their families.
Like, I'm glad to hear that this got resolved, but the thing is, it doesn't really sound like it's been resolved. I hear there's killings going on all the time, and like, you can't just slap a band-aid on that conflict, you know? Even if you don't want to take climate change seriously, you need to prepare for emergency situations. Yeah, they would have exhausts clogged by snow and stuff. God, that is scary. Democrats already failed this country, and now we want to come back and double down. How did we fail this country? Please tell me. Right now, our atmosphere is at 04 of carbon dioxide. 2 plants start to die. Yeah, you have an issue when the CO2 can come from lakes and kill an entire town. Yeah, it's a problem, dude. And it's not like it has to be this way. Like, this is self-inflicted. It doesn't have to be this way. You know what I mean? Like, we were doing great like, we've been like, during the Paris Accords, right? We were doing great things. And then, yeah, sorry.
Bolton has been charged with
the climate FBI director James really Comey made his first. It's one of those issues that just, like, I feel like it's 80-20 at this point. Because you see the examples of it, you know what I mean?
Big crowds of protesters are expected across the United States.
We're here because we love America.
We're building a
protesting. It's one of the most American things you can do. Like, I would never be ashamed of anybody protesting.
Ballroom. For 150 years, they've wanted a ballroom here.
The White House has started demolishing part of the East Wing.
The entire White House East.
Believe it or not, this was actually a big point of contention for a lot of people. A lot of people were upset about that. And I at first I didn't understand, right? But so let's destroy our economy and go back. Did you miss the bull run of the S&P? The last 2 years of Biden's economy? While the rest of the world, including our enemies, continue to eventually take us over, China don't care, Russia don't. Anyways, the CO2 we've produced settled into deep areas of our planets, and sometimes the lake shift caused the issues, but we are improving gasoline uses to be leaded. Well, I really do think if we can just get away from gasoline, that would be a huge boon to our independence, just in general. Protesting is only American on Jan 6. Yeah, exactly. Every time else it's riots, but Jan 6, that was a peaceful protest.
Wing has been demolished. President Trump and New York Mayor-elect Zoran Mamdani go from adversaries to a bromance.
Affirming that you...
Yeah, I thought this was hilarious, dude. Because, I mean, I'm glad, like, this made me happy. If Trump acted like this every single day of his life, we'd probably be talking about something completely different. If a Democrat built the ballroom, no problem. I highly doubt that. You would hear Fox News raging. That would probably be the first. They'd point to that as a treasonous act. So, I'm sorry, but that doesn't hold water.
Is it fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay, you can just say it. I don't mind.
The longest...
Like, dude, they were broing up. They were homieing out. Like, I like to see this from my president. I would like to see more of this, but... unfortunately, he just wants to call us all traitors and say we deserve death. Like, okay, thanks, man.
U.S. government shutdown ever has come to an end.
The House has passed a bill to force the Justice...
Yeah, I'd also be like, why the fuck is Joe Biden building a ballroom? That completely goes against, like, everything he talks about.
Department.
You know, my favorite idea for the ballroom... Hear me out on this one. The issue isn't the ballroom. The issue is we don't need it, and there's a little for future diplomats to be dancing. Yeah, exactly. My favorite idea is to turn the ballroom, after the next president gets in, into like a veterans clinic or something like that. Don't lie, that would be dope. I would love to see that. Just a cool veterans clinic. Or just like a homeless shelter. Hey, it's the people's house. Honestly, cool idea.
Publicly release its files on Jeffrey Epstein.
These women have fought the most horrific...
No, we don't. We don't enter... Dude, this is America. You want to be entertained? You can literally just walk a couple blocks down the hotel and you're going to find something that's interesting. Yeah, winners like to tell you how... you know how much they are winning because it's not obvious that they have winning. No, it's so obvious that they have to tell us. Like it's inverted on itself, where it's become opaque yet again.
Fight that no woman should have to fight.
Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene has said that she's resigning from Congress in January.
It was Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's first visit since the 2018 killing
Mike,
of Washington
all I'm gonna
Post
say is
journalist
that
Jamal
your president disagrees with you. Your president thinks New York City is being run just fine under Mamdani.
Khashoggi.
Brutal murder of a journalist.
But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that.
Oh, geez, they sent him in. They sent the bots in. Daniel, those are the same polls that we trusted to say Kamala was gonna win. What did the Democrats accomplish besides gender affirmation? We've accomplished getting votes on the ACA subsidies. We've accomplished making Trump essentially a lame duck. I don't know what you're talking about. Trump doesn't like Mamdani. Totally not true. They chilled together on the in the White House together. Interesting name, Dildo. You got me. You got me. No, Trump said he liked them. So accomplished nothing, Lamau. No, we've accomplished a lot more than the Republicans have, but I also want you to think, what are we supposed to do? We don't have any reins of power right now. What do you want us to do? I think the party needs to reflect on why. I agree. And I think we've been doing that. You know, we need to be better with our messaging. And oh, well, okay. Nice to see you, Dan. Let me read your name. My bad. Danny Carter. Thanks for stopping by my channel, dog. I appreciate it. But I agree, like, we do need to reflect on why we lost. But I will give Kamala some leeway in saying she did only have like a couple months to plan a campaign. But name accomplishments of the last 4 years. Oh, are you talking about what Biden did? We got the Infrastructure Act. We got the American Rescue Plan. I mean, there were so many amazing things Donald Trump has done. You don't know what saying means? Soying. Oh, it's I think she meant they meant the other people in the chat. It's essentially when you how would I say it? It's when you rage out in a chat, essentially. I think the fact Kamala didn't have anything prepared is more on her rather than the party. And then that one. Well, I think it was just you know, it was a lot of things. Like Joe Biden, if he even had a chance of being that way in the debate performance, he shouldn't have debated. You know what I mean? And so I think that kind of thrusted Kamala into a position where I don't think she really, like, she obviously was going to run, but I don't know if she really knew she was going to run. But I think she was talking about another one. If you fell for that meeting with Trump and the mayor in New York, you're a fool. Well, what? I fell for it, huh? So Donald Trump lied to the American people? Donald Trump lied to the American people, ladies and gentlemen. But then what did Biden bring down the inflation to? What was the inflation when Biden left? Can you tell me that? She said she was Indian and switched to black. Well, if that's the only criticism you have of her, then you voted on very stupid lines. Like, oh God. There's a lot worse.
Welcome to the press briefing room.
You are hereby unconditionally.
I won't lie, this is a good meme of Donald Trump talking to a turkey. I like it. Who said it was the only criticism? What a stupid observation. No, I think what you said was originally very stupid. And now you realized how stupid it was to just say that as like a criticism. And now you're coping. That's what that was. Now, if you want to bring an actual criticism, go ahead. Like MAGA doesn't understand the concept of multinational people. Oh, yeah. I don't even think she wanted to run after Trump got in the politically unaligned individuals thought our democracy was under attack by the left, regardless of, you know, I do think she would have been a good president, but I do think she was kind of thrust into almost like an impossible position. But that's why we lick our wounds, we get ready for the next time, and then we go. So Daniel, I guess the best, or my bad if I'm getting your name wrong, Danny. Essentially what I would say, would compare it to, it's like I bring up a piece of evidence and then somebody just says that piece of evidence, like, you suck, you suck, and then just starts going on like a huge tangent for 7 minutes about just a bunch of random things. That's kind of what it would be. To appease the minorities, so that's interesting.
Two West Virginia National Guard members shot just blocks from the White House.
What do you even say to that? That's just like a schizophrenic soy out. You know what I mean? Mr. Dildo. I'm back. My phone was at 20%. I was plugged in and it died. What did I miss? Just a general overview of the top moments in U.S. poll. And that's about it so far. Democrats had no problem being told who was going to be running as the Democrat for president. Harris was appointed. Okay, that's not true though, right? Typical lefty. That's right. I'm your typical lefty, guys. The recent special election races. Oh yeah, those are giving them heart attacks right now.
Trump announced Thanksgiving night one of two National Guard members had died.
She's just passed away. She's no longer with us.
So we're stopping the drugs, we're striking the boats, we're defeating narco terrorists.
Lawmakers in Congress want to know what happened when that boat was struck on September 2nd.
You can't see anything, you got digital. This is called the fog of war.
The New York mayor lied. Also, the American people. What? Mike, you're schizo-soying out right now, and I don't think you realize. So I'm just gonna be your friend right now, Mike, brother. You're soying out.
Is your peace prize?
The world is a safer place now.
Thank you for this bridge payment. It's Christmas early for farmers.
The U.S. Justice Department published.
We don't call people honey in the chat. No honeys, no, you know.
Thousands of files related to the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
We reporters had questions for the president. He did not answer any of them.
First Lady Melania Trump has revealed the White House decorations.
And after just 1 year, we have achieved more than anyone could have imagined.
He doesn't debate. If you want to debate, my Discord's in the chat. If you want to debate, I mean, what do we got here? Yeah, if you want to debate, you can go into the Discord. Oh, you're all right, Dan. Don't worry. You're totally fine, dog. I think you're just being nice, anyways. But yeah, Dildo. You want to debate? My link's in the chat here. I'll send it again. Because, like, just responding to chat messages isn't really debating, you know what I mean? But if anybody wants to debate, feel free to hop in the chat, and I'll go into the void real quick. Yeah, it's about 2. So, yeah. Anyways, let's get back to our show. Oh, no. We're actually actually done with this.
2025 began with the funeral of former President Jimmy.
Stop. All right. Yeah, I don't care about local New York politics necessarily, to be quite frank. Oh, that horrifying. You missed that, Bill. We went over that. That stuff was just absolutely horrifying. Roll call after Biden bowed out after the race. Yeah, I mean, I don't think she was like elected unduly. I mean, everybody knew, like, if Biden wasn't running, it would be Kamala, you know. I liked Harris. I thought she was a good candidate. See, I never called you a name, Dill. Call people soy and schizo. Well, that you can't lie. That last message was schizo. I don't even know what he was talking about. Anyways, let's watch some Rightoid Media together. I think them names because it's funny. Amen. All right. Let's see what we got going on in the world right now. Who do we want to watch today? We could watch Benny. Undemocratic thing, just don't know because it wasn't a formal setting to vote for the next runner-up. Yeah, I mean, it was democratic, definitely. And we all knew that Kamala would run if fucking Joe Biden was out. And that, I mean, I saw a lot of people honestly wanting just Kamala to run before, like, telling Biden just to bow out and let Kamala run. And who knows, that might have been a better campaign. Well, yeah, I'm watching something that's not stupid. I want to watch some Rightoid Media, but we gotta decide on one. Not stupid. That doesn't have a dumb-ass democratic socialist spewing bullshit crime. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now, brother. That's what I'm looking for right now. I guess we could watch Liberty Hangout some more. Charlie Kirk protesters go nuts! People love car chases. Oh, yeah. No, what I like to do is some news in the beginning, like PBS NewsHour, and I like to do articles, but I just haven't been able to do them recently. And then we'll go over like a Rightoid of the day. Or we could just go, I mean, we could honestly just watch some actual news. Let's see what Tim Pool's got going on. Let's see what Tim Pool's got going on. You know, yeah, Tim Pool's a good one. We haven't went over Tim Pool. I felt bad because he had the shots outside of his house, but that's quickly turning out to seem very interesting because there's no police reports about it, but I don't want to be too rude about that. Let's actually, yeah, let's watch oh, this doesn't have Tim in it. This doesn't either. Okay, here we go. American buying power is collapsing. Well, let's watch his AmFest stuff. Did Tim say about his allegations of being paid by a Russian conglomerate? Well, interesting that you bring that up. Yeah, he does not tend to talk about that too much. He does not tend to talk about that too much. Bro, why are you so focused on what's happening in New York? Do you live in New York? That one's funny, Brian. No, he does not say much about that, actually. I wonder why. Yes, he's very embarrassed about it. But according to him, they didn't have anything to say. Which, in my opinion, is like, that's more embarrassing, because our enemies literally had no problem with what you were saying on a daily basis. Like, don't you see a bit of a problem with that? No? Okay, Tim. What is there to debate? Mike, your only thing is Republicans make good, Dems bad, NY fire chief. Yeah, Brian, that's a really good, positive way of looking at it, actually. Like, that's how I see it. Like, I don't totally align with everything Mamdani says, but I think if his biggest failure, like, if he fails, we know it didn't work. If it works, think about all the possibilities, right? So that's how I kind of see it. Well, we're talking about this, right? We could talk about the video.
To the night's headliners, bench.
It's up to you. Yeah. Toby gets stimulating. She's got Loner Box to have stimulating conversations with.
Pierre Tucker Carlson.
Shout out to Loner Box. Huge, some would say I'm his orbiter. Some
Jabs
would.
at each other
some
in their
would.
speeches. And I'm hearing now that people are like, it's pretty tense because you've got different factions now.
Yeah, that's a good way to see it too, Brian. There's no success without failure. And like, even if like some of his policies end up working out, that's huge. Like, and we could totally help out, we could help more people out, you know? Like, I like the community grocery store idea, and we have an example of it here in Kansas that ended up working. And so I'm interested to see that, because lower grocery prices would help everybody. I don't know, like rent control, I'm not the biggest fan of. I think it can have a lot of adverse consequences, but we'll see.
That are basically going to odds with each other. Check this out from Dom Lucre. This is a video of that.
Cover this whole chat, including a leader of this, are all Democrat. Does it? I don't say that. I mean, that is rage bait. I won't lie. The Republicans are failing America. I'll just let you know that's rage bait. But we have a couple of I have Republicans that watch me. Shouldn't only be on New York and its resident. Nothing we can do about it. Not living there. Yeah, totally. But it is interesting. I think I hope to see good things coming out of New York. You know.
Podcast.
That's what I hope for all of my fellow Americans, though.
Look at this. So he's filming. This is fresh filming.
Wait. Harris got that is not true. Harris didn't get less than 1% of the vote. Yeah, I thought you were, Brian. He's a little Republican, you know. We got a diversity of opinions out here.
Thanks for being cool about it, man. Cool. Appreciate it. But did it say what I did or something, or? No, I got nothing. Damn. All right. Think about this. Well, kicked out. Apparently.
Oh, geez, it's Coconuts. What's Coconuts doing here? Getting kicked out of the of Amfest.
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
Coconuts in Barbados. Damn, that was kind of crazy. I was not expecting to see Coconuts. Okay. Flips the table of discussion. Oh yeah, I agree. I looked it up. Mamdani's fire chief is a guy that was an EMS officer. Emergency service and firefighting are very closely linked. Oh yeah. Like, those definitely have a lot of crossover. And maybe, like, was the response times for fire officers not maybe the highest. I could see that being a reason to hire like an EMS person rather than just a strict fire chief. Maybe they're better at managing times and stuff like that.
Apparently, they also barred Myron from coming in as well, but then later reversed and let them both
The economy is going to start moving forward. That is copium.
come back in. They both got back in. I think it's very obvious. There is a MAGA civil war, and I'm telling you, I think who's going to win is going to be the Romney-esque conservatives.
I hope, dude. Right? I hope. Dude, could you imagine the party, like a Republican party of Romneys? Holy shit, we could actually pass some legislation. We wouldn't even need to get rid of the filibuster at that point. We would be, you know, we could actually have some agreements.
And then the, I'll put it like this, because we talked about it a little bit yesterday. I got asked by a reporter from the Wall Street Journal about what I thought was going on, and I said, well, we weren't invited. They invited me back after the fact, for whatever reason, and I was like, we're booked. I'm just not going to do it. And I got to be honest, I really don't want to be there. With this, with all the stuff going on with
Tim's going through something right now. I don't know what it is, but like Tim's going through something right now. I think the fight with Candace Owens may have opened his eyes to how like vitriolic their side can be when you don't 100% agree with them. I know, Toby, I saw that message and I'm just like, what are we talking about here? Those voted measures only send a message with no action when calling for change. Yeah, I think there's nothing we can do about it anyways. And honestly, like, give people a chance. Don't just say they're there just because Mamdani's woke. Like, what if they're really good at their job? Then you're just getting rid of somebody who's good at their job because you don't like the way they look.
all this bickering, bitching.
Have there been more fire? Is there a famous fire in New York every night now? No.
Fighting. I don't know what is going on with this, but I will tell you this. I do not care for the suit-wearing Republican Party. Never did. Democrats are absolutely insane. They're insane people who do things that are insane for insane reasons.
I appreciate that.
For that reason, I voted for Republicans. Donald Trump's different. I like J.D. Vance, but I don't like the stodgy Bush-era suit-wearing conservatives. And what AmFest is turning into is guy in suit comes out, says Christianity, guy in suit comes out, says immigration, and I'm like, well, it's not really for me. Now you've got infighting. Now you've got the people screaming about the Jews, and I'm just like, yo, if that's the
yeah, that's something else. Lots of anti-Semitism starting in the right. I was very afraid when I saw anti-Semitism growing on my side, and I combated that as much as I could. And you don't see it nearly. I mean, you still see it, unfortunately, but those voices are more and more seen as the crazies. But you can't fix a wheel unless the car is on the side of the road. Let them break down first and see see if it's going to break down. Yeah. I think that's a really good way of looking at politics. Like, it's not the end of the world if one person gets in charge or the other. Like, I have Republican Senate, like, one of my senators, one of them, I won't lie, is a real POS, but, one of them is actually very bipartisan and will reach across the aisle when they can. So
the direction you're going, I'm not interested in. And so I'll say this one thing. Jillian Michaels, shout out.
But I want Tim to know, like, we're not all crazy over here. Like, we all seem to have our crazies. You know, we all seem to have our crazies. Oh, I'm seeing what's happening in the chat. New York EMS count 1 million. New York firefighters count 619 EMS. It's literally 3 times bigger, over bigger. Why wouldn't you appoint somebody from? Oh yeah, for sure.
She's on that show with PBD's. What is it?
Her Take?
It's called Her. And they're like, let's make a View for Real People. And this viral clip happened where Annika Barron brings up Israel again, and Jillian Michael goes, "Oh my God, I did not come here to just talk about Israel nonstop," and she gets up and leaves.
Yes, for real. That is, yeah, I like JD Vance. That was like, really? You like JD Vance? Come on, man. It's that, but come on, man.
The anti-Israel people framed it as though Jillian refused to criticize Israel. The real story is that Annika Barron brings up Israel all the time. And Jillian's actual complaint is, I get it all.
Goodbye, Mike. I know you, we're fighting in the chat, but we do appreciate all the voices on here, even if we completely disagree with you.
Ready? Can we talk about something else? If this
Starting in the riot, this has been happening for a while.
Is the direction they're going, it's going to be the Jews with like Candace Owens, or it's going to be suit-wearing, Bush-era interventionist, boring, I'm not there. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know who in the Democratic Party I'm voting for because they're insane too.
Okay, listen to that. Okay, we have an opportunity. Pisco, I know you've got ties. Reach out to Tim. He does seem like he's going through a tough time, honestly. Not to like psychoanalyze or anything, but he just hasn't, I don't know. Groypers, weird name to begin with. Oh yeah, dude. The Groypers are just, that's not what America is. Just straight, flat out not what America is.
But I have a potential prediction based on what we're seeing now with the MAGA Civil War, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how likely it will be, but I believe there's a decent probability a Rogan-esque Democrat emerges. I mean, like Joe Rogan-esque, who says, I don't know what's going on with the Republicans. He's going to be wearing a flannel. He's going to be like big into MMA. He's going to be a reasonable guy. He's going to be friends with comedians. And he's going to say, the Republicans are going weird on me, man, just like the Democrats used to. I'm going to try and save the Democratic Party and bring it back to normalcy. And then this person could...
I think that, see, this is what I'm, like, the Democratic Party, we are such a big tent. Like, yeah, there's room for a guy like that for sure. There are people like that, like the Bulwark. But we're fairly, like, I really don't know what the radical policies that we supposedly support are.
Advocate against the weird trans and the kid stuff.
Yeah.
Push out the weird far lefty cultural stuff. Keep the far lefty economic.
I feel bad for Ben. He was calling out the hypocrisy that certain people in his group were doing, and he was accused of calling for censure. Oh yeah, Ben Shapiro, I feel like he has said, like, he said stuff I vehemently, completely disagree with. But I mean, he was kicked out of his own party just for being, honestly, just for being Jewish. Can we be honest? Like, he was saying that's anti-Semitic, like, you guys are starting anti-Semitic shit, and he got kicked out for saying that. Like, what is that, dude? That's BS.
Stuff and be someone who appears reasonable to working class Americans and actually win.
That is definitely a stiff droid. Oh yeah, I mean, he is, but I can't feel a certain amount of empathy for him because, like, that would suck, bro. That'd completely suck. I don't know.
Have a better approval rating than Democrats. Democrats are still in the toilet.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Republicans still could make something out of this, but if they're fighting with each other about, who's going to actually be in charge of the Republican Party, because that's the sense that I get about.
Oh yeah, they like the abhorrent shit Ben will say. They just don't like that it's abhorrent shit that isn't about the Jews. I think a lot of, like, these more in the middle Republicans are slowly finding out, like, their party is turning into something Like their party is doing what they accused the Democrats of doing, which is like becoming this super radical whatever, you know, when we still have people in our party that don't agree with abortion, you know what I mean? But there's not any room for those disagreements anymore in the Republican Party, which sucks for all the Republicans, I'm sure. Yeah, turning into something insidious. There we go.
About the AmFest stuff, right? Like the fight is now, okay.
Like if there were gosh, I really wish we could just go back to the time where there were fiscal conservatives and a little more conservative on social issues. But it's just completely changed into like something I would not recognize.
People that we find
you know
offensive or we find distasteful.
That's a good point too, Brian. It is sterile too, because like what is the MAGA movement gonna do after Trump is gone? They had hope with people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, but then they kick her out of, they basically extradite her after she says one minor thing about Trump. That doesn't produce an atmosphere of good potential, you know?
To go back to the kind of Romney-esque normal quote unquote Republicans. But that's not what the MAGA coalition is. The MAGA coalition wasn't exclusive. It didn't kick people out. And so Republicans can make something of this and capitalize on really historic low favorability for the Democrats. But if they're going to exclude people.
Also, I don't get these like I know where they're getting it, but like I'm not seeing that, dude. I'm not seeing this like low favorability of the like that they suck. I don't know. I guess this is why we need our liberal media apparatus, something I and many others are trying to get up and running so we can counteract these voices on Tim Pool, but more so we can boost the message of the Democratic Party so no one's wondering what our positions are on certain things, you know? Like nobody in the Democratic Party, for example, is for surgeries for minors, right? But if you listen to this, the right-wing media apparatus, you'd think we were advocating for 12-year-olds to get surgeries. But that's far from the case. Like, most of the gender-affirming care you receive is reversible. I actually know somebody in my life who felt trans and is now doesn't feel that way anymore. And so they're detransitioning and they're just fine. They feel totally normal. So it's not like it's totally irreversible, you know?
People, they're going to be giving away votes.
And if you're getting a surgery, you're very sure that you want this, you know? You're not being pressured by anybody. That is a decision between you and your doctor at that point.
I think there's 2 points. I mean, one, I do think Vance is probably the only person in the party right now that's capable of stitching the coalition together.
Yep.
And that is why I know they are screwed.
That he is the best at framing probably in the entire Republican Party. I was talking to Phil earlier about this. The moment that I really realized
the
Vance
best at framing in the entire Republican Party. Well, it's a good thing no one advocates for that, Josh. It's a good thing no one I literally just explained my position about how no one advocates for gender-affirming surgery before the age of 18, and the gender-affirming care drugs most people receive are reversible. All for the person being a trans woman, and honestly, the bathroom issue shouldn't be more about crafting individual stalls, because let's face it, we have pedo yeah, exactly. We have, I think like individual stalls are extremely based. You know what I mean? Like those are great and we should advocate for more of them. Yeah, and I think that like if you know a trans person in your life, right? Could you imagine them using the the restroom for their assigned birth. Like, it would be very strange and weird. You know? Like, that's what they want. I don't know.
I mean, I always liked him. I always supported him.
I feel like the bathroom issue isn't even really talked about anymore because there were just no examples of trans people doing that. But, and you know, it just fell out of favor because people realized, oh, not all trans people are giant pedophiles. Seals full to the floor, much harder to clean, but a lot more private. No trans at all is what Republicans want. Well, that is that shouldn't be allowed because you're then encroaching on somebody's freedom. And I'd say freedom and liberty is more important than your feelings. You know what I mean? And I've always thought, like, the reason why people are against trans was so weird because I always thought being trans was like, that's one of the biggest examples of you expressing your freedom to change your very gender and to become something that you've always wanted to be. I think that's a very powerful statement. And the fact that society lets you do that is beautiful, in my opinion. Oh, I am a big lib cuck. Big lib cuck. Huge big lib cuck.
When he was a VP candidate, but when I realized, like, oh, this is the guy for 28, was after the Politico article came out about the group chat leak, and you know, everyone on the right.
Well, how did that work out? Simply delicious. We flooded the U.S. with illegal immigrants so we could stay in power, just to lose power. Yeah, that worked out great, didn't it? If that were true, that would be one of the biggest Mr. Magoo fuck-ups of all time.
Was like kind of unsure to handle it. Do we condemn these kids? Do we throw them under the bus?
Actually,
and then Vance
didn't
comes
care
out
about
and
is
says,
just the
"I don't
loudest
really
and
care about a
narcissistic
group
one
chat leak
speaking."
when the
Yeah, most people with most trans people with their pronouns, like, they understand if you misgender them like once or twice on accident. It's when you like do it on purpose. Like, you're like, "Okay, sir," to a trans woman. It's like, oh, okay, now you're just trying to make me feel like shit. In reality, Trump did actually that. In reality, Trump did that to stay in power. Corporate Democrats are all Mr. Magoo fuck-ups. I don't know where you're seeing that from. I'd say that's much more in the Republican Party, especially in this DOJ, this Republican-led DOJ that put up a picture unredacted, took it back down, put it back up redacted, took it back down. I mean, that is just crazy. I'm a degen. Huh? Alright, we don't use that T word here. We don't use the T word for trans people. If anybody wants to zap them, feel free to.
the AG candidate in Virginia is threatening to kill Republicans. Like, you guys need to clean up your side.
See, this is the both parties cope. This is the both parties cope, RC. Like, one party is protecting pedophiles, one party is fighting to get the names of pedophiles. I think it's pretty obvious. Men cannot be women, women cannot be men, you cannot change their chromosomes. Okay, well, that's, if you ask most trans women and men, they acknowledge that. And most trans women are fighting to be trans women. They just want to be women, you know, treated just like normal people, not like fucking, not a special class. Oh, wait, this guy's a cat boy? No way. Wait a minute, you're a cat boy? Are you a Fuentes type?
before we ever consider hall monitoring our side. So I do think Vance is probably the only guy that's capable of stitching that coalition together, but the knives are out for him from both the neocons and sort of the Groyper aligned.
Yeah, I
people.
agree. Trans men can't magically become women. Exactly.
But I do think with the Democrats, they're going to struggle to actually present sort of a moderate MMA type of guy.
Yeah, I know. We got a cat boy in the chat, Brian.
Because
that's the Fuentes special.
Beholden to their base, and that's sort of the issue in the Democrat Party is the base has no appetite.
Well, that's not something to be proud of, I'd say.
Right on. Shout out to Fresh and Fit. They're in AmFest now. I'm glad they got in. Yeah. I just think next year they're not going to be let in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's
no, they got kicked out of AmFest. That's kind of crazy. We saw Coconuts getting escorted out. That's interesting.
It'd be bad for the Republican Party.
Well, no, I was just saying their base has no appetite to moderate right now. And then here's the primary issue for a moderate Democrat if they were to try to merge on the national scene is they're also beholden to staffers. And so when you're trying to staff a campaign, when you're trying to staff an administration, the problem is in the Democrat Party on the left is they're all functionally activists. They all
Tony
believe in
Hinchcliffe?
perpetual revolution.
True.
And so, okay, let's say maybe a Rogan type of guy does come along who's maybe a bit more moderate. He's going to
Have a
instantly
way
get
to
pushed
genetically change, but I think more people would be inclined to cheat on muscle development or extra appendages or something rather than change sex. Oh yeah, that once we start getting to that level, which I think that would be sick. We get that is one of the steps to becoming a more a spacefaring species, I guess would be the best way to describe it. But yeah, they would probably definitely use it more for getting bigger muscles or something, which by the way, that's gender affirming care. We don't ever, that's not what people call it, but things like steroids and stuff, that's gender affirming care. You see a certain image of yourself being this big muscular dude, and you're trying to become that version of you. Definitely be a dragonkin and bring out on the D&D lore. Oh yeah, at that point, I'd get wings. I'd be down for some wings. It's disgusting to even consider. All right, this man is from the 1700s. He has been brought forward in time. Everybody, make sure to treat Josh with the utmost care. Don't expose any new technologies to him. Don't show him your phone. He's not quite used to it yet. Yeah, Joshua just learned about transhumanism, for real. I wasn't big into the transhumanism stuff, but it's interesting, right? Becoming better in ways that we could never, I guess better is a weird word though, because I think every experience is completely unique, and I wouldn't say that I'm necessarily living a better life than somebody with robot augmentation, but I would definitely be down to have some robot augmentation. Remember the Fairly Odd Parents episode where the dentist and his kids still said they were the best blobs even when every one of them was exactly the same after Timmy's wish? Yeah, it won't matter. True. Yeah, eventually we're all just gonna be I don't know, when we get to the point of transhumanism, we're not even gonna look like fucking humans. We'll probably just be some brain in a jar. Although Homelander could be a thing too. That might be a little spooky. But I think we'd make a good Homelander. We'll make a good one. Science fiction is evil. Don't think about things that don't currently exist. I love science fiction. Ooh, really good book for you guys if you ever need a book recommendation. Empire by The Foundation, my bad. I don't know why I said Empire. The Foundation by Isaac Asimov is so good. It really drills down the human condition, and it talks about what it means to be human, honestly.
The left by his staff. It's not a one-man army. A political campaign is really
Oh, you're saying genetically splicing won't matter? They will always hate trans people? Yeah, that's what's sad. It's like watch, here soon we'll be able to literally change our chromosomes and become, like, straight up just become a woman or become a man. And they'll be like, huh, you weren't born a man. Like, they'll just switch it to, you weren't born that way. The same level as humans against mutants in the Marvel universe. Straight up, dude. That is a good, I really like the X-Men series. They tackled a lot of really great
A
issues.
conglomeration of everybody within that.
Yeah,
Back in the day.
To your point, I just saw a tweet earlier. Owen Wilson, who's the guy, or no, Owen Jones. I'm sorry.
Owen
Wilson.
I like that
Nice.
guy.
Owen Jones, who's he's a Politico he's a commentator in the UK, and he misgendered someone in some kind of online discussion or whatever, and he was getting lambasted by people. So that the idea that woke has gone away is totally wrong, and that's still very, very
Reddit
influential on
tier?
the left.
Dude, I'm not even on Reddit. I wish I could go on Reddit. But Ass is still here. Hey, look at that. He's interested. I think it's working on you, man. I think it's working on you. There's a reason that Reddit posts get 100 updates. Yeah. You can say you're hate watching all you want. I see you.
So someone that would be a Rogan-esque kind of everyman's man. The feminists are not going to get behind him. The intersectionalists are not going to get behind him.
I'm glad you brought up. I'm glad you brought up Rogan-esque, because the first thing that happened right after Trump got into office, you have all these talk shows that were talking, how did we lose? I can't believe we're trying to analyze how they lost.
Yeah, careful, Brian. These guys hate Superman, right? They fucking hate him. Fucking Superman. Well, he's Kryptonian, so that's a bad example, huh? They hate Invincible. I actually need to watch the newer seasons.
And the very first thing they said was,
Hey, what's up, Tom
Dana
Foolery
Bash was
Show?
the
Good
first
to
one
see
mention
you.
That, we're living in the manosphere.
How have you
right
been?
now. And literally, I still have that. I still have that clip. But I watched all these talk shows in the sort of aftermath of the election, and they were all saying, "Well, we don't have a Jordan Peterson, we don't have a Theo Vaughn, we don't have a Joe Rogan."
Tom Foolery Show. He has a channel on YouTube that does debates panels and stuff like that. Go check him out. He's a cool dude.
Have somebody who's like popular with the boys. How do we get the men to come back to the Democrat Party?
Well,
It's like, you never had them in the first place. In fact, you actively ran them out of the party. But now they're trying to. I'm seeing the rise of this sort of character right now.
Hates you. Left twice when I've come on.
As the example here, but Scott Galloway he's the safest edgelord that there is right now.
Technically
And he'll go on
illegal
Oprah,
because
he'll
they
go
lied
on,
on. That's true. Yep. Superman's getting deported to Guatemala, folks. Says he here from Kansas. Psh, no way.
He'll go on with Chris Williamson. He'll go with these guys, and it's always these half measures, but it always comes back to sort of he wants to address the fact that young men are having issues and problems these days, but then he'll turn around somehow and make it the same people's fault for that. But
no, it's not. I never blamed like young men for anything. Like, this is fake outrage. I think that young men would benefit, and I'm not gonna lie. I feel like you're gonna get a lot further with the ladies. Let's say if you agree with them that they have deserve rights and that minorities aren't horrible. I do think that would be a lot easier in the dating scene, but that's just one aspect of being a single man. If Rolly ditches a debate with you, we'll know that what you and Tom have in common. Superman went on a retainer from a port of authority to claim asylum. Oh, jeez. All right, I think we're getting close to the end because I do have
See
to
what they're trying
wrap
to
it
do.
up a
They're
little
trying
bit
to sort of
sooner today
groom,
just to get ready for
a
work.
I'm not saying they're going to run Scott Galloway as a presidential candidate, but somebody like him who has that kind of gravitas, I guess, that a Rogan does, or like that sort of online podcaster sort of voice that they can relate to. I think that's
Well, this
probably
gives me hope, or I guess hope is a weird word, but it seems like they're kind of hungry for. They're not satisfied with what the Republican Party is giving them, and I'm telling you right now, Tim, you know, the Democratic Party has a lot of really cool people in it, and I think I'm gonna work on getting their messaging out there. But I think they would like people like Tim Pool might really like some more moderate Democrats that we have in our party. And obviously, you don't hear about them too much because they're moderates. Of course, you're not going to hear about. They're not going to be on the front line saying everything. Oh, nice. I was about to fall asleep too. Well, that's good because I think we're at the end. Let's see if there's anything else I needed to cover. We'll check the. I won't finish this. Not too interesting, but we'll see if we get anything here. MAGA considers J.D. Vance to be the next leader after Trump. Yeah, that one's interesting, isn't it? Like, I say it all that I think the Republicans are kind of screwed when it comes to leadership because, like, all they have is Trump. It's going to be Trump. It's the Trump party, and that's like, it's going to be impossible to come after him. So anybody that comes up after him is going to be not. Like, it's going to be almost impossible to fill Trump's shoes. I did have an idea that we should allow a chance to give illegals who haven't committed additional crimes, like a clear if they have been here for over 7 years, the 2-year leniency to search citizenship. That's great. Yeah, I like that idea, honestly. Because, like, people that have lived here for most of their lives shouldn't just be uprooted because they're quote unquote illegal. They're still paying into the system most of the time. So let's honestly, if we wanted to, let's make a program where, okay, I was here illegally. I have to pay a little bit more on my taxes for the next 5 years, but I'll have representation. I'll be a legal citizen, and I'll be contributing to the economy a little bit more with my extra taxes. I think that's the way to go. So it doesn't create this atmosphere of hostility where people of Latin descent feel like they can't go out. Like, I've heard some people afraid, like, come into the store afraid to come on the streets. And I live in a small town where it's most definitely the administration is not, eyes are not, but it has this type of effect on people. That is cool, but it's interesting how that is fast in America. A lot of citizenships just get citizenship by 7 years. The real hurt will come from a sudden drop on the labor force, especially if we're planning on increasing production in the U.S. Yeah, that's what's killing a lot of companies right now, is that this drop in the labor force is really hurting people who want to bring production to the U.S. because who's the fuck is going to make our vehicles, but who's going to make our stuff? Who's going to make the factory stuff? That's why it's going to eventually just be all these dark factories that look nothing like how a lot of people envision bringing jobs back. Fuck Israel. Well, Israel has been up to some bad stuff recently. I'm not too happy with Israel's actions, but we love, I know it's more a product of their far-right government than the people in Israel, and so you just have to be cognizant of that, and, you know, I think a two-state solution is what's best for that region right now. Great time for Kalinda to start streaming. Oh, is she started up? Well, if that's the case, let me go get her stream link and I'll send you guys there. I saw Ice Beans was live too. So yeah, it looks like Kalinda is starting up, so I will send you guys over to Kalinda. If you guys liked the stream, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, boost my views out there. And remember, allow some balls to dictate a reasonable response. Yeah, I mean, I don't think Israel's far-right government really I think the people of Israel are upset with fucking its government right now. That's what everybody that I know tells me. They're just they hate that they're doing this, you know. Later, Brian. It was really good to see you. I'll be heading out here soon too. I just wanted to talk about what XX said. But yeah, I think what they're doing is just far beyond what anybody kind of expected, or I guess expected, but far beyond what anybody, like, we knew it was going to be bad, but we didn't know it was going to be this way. And so, but we also have to hold like all parties accountable for it. So anyways, I am going to head out. Let me play some music and I'll send the link in the chat. Old Front Mission 4. Oh, I almost started playing rain sounds. Alright, Front Mission 4. OST. Alright, remember to go say what's up to Kalinda. Tell him TGDE sent ya. Tell her, I should say. And we're gonna do boot camp. Alright, I'll see you soldiers tomorrow, where I will be... Tomorrow's the Epstein episode, so get excited. And I really mean it this time. It is the Epstein episode. Alright. Go raid Kalinda. Tell her I said what's up. Good luck, soldiers. That is true. All cats are ass cats. But it was fun chilling with you guys today. It really was. Yeah, that would be a cat dog, Bill. Goodbye, Astolfo. I don't think I said your name now. Goodbye. Have a great day, guys. Remember how dope you are. I gotta get ready for work, so... I love trans people too, Toby. Bye! Decided to ban him last minute, fuck him. Hell yeah. That's unbelievable, you're a unicorn, but you go to Pizza Hut shop. No, I work at a real job, but okay.